Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Nev's Garage. Now if this is your first time joining us here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also toggle on that little bell. That way you'll be notified when the next video comes out. Let's not get ahead of ourselves though, still got to get through this episode. Today, I'm going to be cleaning and servicing a K&N air filter. I'm going to be using this cleaning solution and then going to be giving it a good old lube up with the K&N air filter oil. Simple job. I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so the first thing we want to do is just take the top of the airbox off, alright? Now it's always a good idea when you're working on an airbox to just blow it down with compressed air first. Make sure no debris enters the intake system. So make sure you put a pair of safety glasses on. You don't want to get a bit of crud in your eyes, you're going to have a bad time. Okay, cool. So now we just undo this clamp here. Let him flop down. Unclip the coolant hoses out of the retainer, just like so. Unplug the airflow meter. You don't need to remove the battery for this. And pull the connector for the duty solenoids and map sensor out as well. Okay. Now it's just as simple as flicking these clamps up. And then pushing the airbox down at the bottom to undo the two clips at the bottom and swing it up out of the way. Okay, a little twist like this will get it out of the air intake. Okay, and she's out. There it is. Alright, now you want to put this somewhere where it's going to stay clean. Okay, so I usually put this side down and put a nitrile glove over this side or a rag or something, then you don't have to clean it later. So here's our air filter. Now we can just pop that out and there she is. Alright, now she looks okay that side, but what about the dirty side? Yeah, she's pretty dirty. It's well and truly due for a clean. So let's take it outside and clean it. Okay, so now we've got the filter removed. What we do now is just shake out all the loose crap. So just gently tap it downwards like that. You never want to hit a K&N air filter with compressed air because it will basically destroy the cotton sheeting. And you're not going to have a filter anymore, you're just going to have a screen. Alright, so you can see there, quite a bit of crap came out of it. That's just all the loose stuff that's been rammed into it. That's a lot cleaner up in the pleats now. Okay. Alright, so let's just collect that so I can show you. Check that out. That's enough to make a nice little dirt biscuit. Alright, so now comes the cleaning phase. You need to get your proper K&N cleaner. Don't use degreaser or petrol or thinners or acetone. Bathroom cleaner. Don't use KY jelly. K&N cleaner. They make this stuff for their air filters. They know what they're doing. Alright, give it a real good soak. Now I'm just going to put it in the shade and let it sit for a couple of minutes so the cleaner does its thing. If I leave it in the sun, it will just evaporate and not work properly. Okay, so now she's been soaking for a couple of minutes now, so the degreaser's done its thing. Now what you want to do is get the hose. Now we want a nice, soft fan pattern like this. Once again, we don't want to hit it with too much pressure. because we want to preserve the integrity of our cotton matting. Okay, so we're just going to use the hose basically like we're painting the air filter, and we're going to be washing from the air intake side back through to the free air side, because we don't want to impregnate any dirt further into the matting. So here we go. There she is, nice and clean, and we're just going to shake the excess water out of it, like so. Okay. So there she is, that's how she looks. Alright, so remember, we're not going to hit it with compressed air, we're just going to put it in a nice sunny spot and let it dry naturally. I find the best way to dry them is just a nice clean rag over the old wheelie bin, put it in the sun, intake side down so no crap falls into it, and just let it dry. Okay, so once it's dry, it's time for oiling. Alright, so there's our nice clean filter. Check it out, nice and clean. It basically goes almost white once it's clean because all the pink oil is washed out of it, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to oil the free air side, okay? We're not going to oil the intake side. The reason being is because any of this stuff that gets on your airflow meter is going to give it a hard time, right? It's going to give you inaccurate readings. So we're just going to give it a light dusting on the free air side, and as it draws through the filter with the airflow, it will oil the whole thing properly. So give it a good old shake. And here we go. Just like how we washed it, like we're spraying it. And we're just going to just give it a real light coat all over. Do it that way. And flip it over, do it this way. Make sure it's all down in the pleats. Alright? And that's it. That's all we give it. This side's still white. This side's got a light tinge of pink. Give you a close-up look. So there's our free air side. And there's our intake side. Okay. Alright, so it's time to put it back in the air box now. So we just push it in there, like that. Sit it down in the aperture. Like that. Now what's a really good idea with a air box, especially a plastic one, is just to seal the top of the air filter with a little bit of grease, right? That's just to make sure this top seal is actually airtight. So if the air box is warped at all, it doesn't leak air and dirt past the filter. Alright, so we're just going to give this a bit of a grease up. Like that. And it's time for the airbox top. So we'll remove our glove off here. Alright, and in she goes. Now, fitting it is just basically the reverse of how we removed it. So we just need to be very, very careful and make sure that we lock it into the bottom properly, so that the airbox is sealed. got the clips snapped on top. Just give it a bit of a wriggle. Make sure that it's seated properly. Have a look down the bottom and inspect it. And even give it a go with a mirror, just to make sure that those lugs are engaged. It's very important. Any dirt in your engine will just instantly destroy it. We're good on that side. And we're good on that side. Cool. So next comes our clamp here. Don't over tighten it. You're only clamping on a plastic airflow meter housing. Just tighten up the seal with air. Pop the coolant hoses back in there, retainers, like that. Slip the wiring loop back into the airbox. Like that. Plug the airflow meter back in. That's it. Alright guys, so that's our K&N air filter, all washed and re-oiled, serviced, put back in the car. Now, simple, hey, that guide obviously applies to any K&N filter, whether it be a boxed panel unit, or a pod filter, or a little PCV breather. They're all made out of the same cotton material, and they're all serviced in the same manner. So there's really no excuse for not keeping your K&N air filter properly serviced and keep your engine breathing properly. So I guess that's it for me this time. As always, thank you for liking and sharing. Please keep subscribing and make sure you jump on our socials at Gossa Media. Follow us there. That's it. See you next time.